We're live. We're live on a Saturday night at almost midnight.
Cowboy shit.
Whatever.
Cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit.
There's cowboy shit going on right now. If you are live with us, you are following the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have a new world champion.
Cowboy shit.
Yes, cowboy shit. Yes, everyone's yelling cowboy shit. I'm Kev Kelm. That is Rick Uccino. That is Jeremy Bennett. We are live following AEW Full Gear. Let's get right into it.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Watch out! Watch out, watch out, watch out. If you are live with us, go ahead and share the link so you don't stink. Hammer that like button. Let us know what you think. All right, share the link so you don't stink. Let us know what you think. Oh, it rhymes. It all rhymes. Rick Uccino, you're really up late here for having children yourself, right? This is late.
Well, yeah, it's a bit late. I'm rolling on 2 hours of sleep. I felt like WrestleMania 35 all over again. I'm sitting. This is just me because it's not like this pay-per-view went till 2 a.m. But I'm sitting there going, "My God,
did it go too long?"
We have 4 matches left, and I can't keep my damn eyes open.
But it went too long for you, right? Didn't it? It went too long for you watching it at home.
It's a me problem. A 4-hour pay-per-view is nothing. At least it shouldn't be. But in my particular situation, I'm like, yeah, let's wrap this shit.
Now, this is at my wheelhouse. I might head to the bar after this. So maybe celebrate. Maybe celebrate with a little Hangman Wiser. Oh hell yeah!
You people with your free time and your lack of responsibilities. Don't rub that shit in.
I gotta go grab a dog. I gotta go get a dog in the morning though. I got a dog sit for a week. So there we go. There's my responsibilities for the week.
There you go. All right, there we go. All right, I'm right there. I'm right there with you with drinking cold one right there.
Well, I'm drinking
I'm
doing Diet Pepsi for now, but
you're a responsible person there.
It's a battle of the brands.
It is.
It's Survivor Series.
Boo.
Tribalism.
Boo.
Tribalism. There we go.
There's tribalism everywhere.
We're talking AEW Full Gear. If you're live with us, go ahead and sound off. Let us know what you think of it there. Jeremy throwing up your comments on the screen there. Sue Jones saying that's fantastic. Congratulations, Hangman. We do have a new AEW World Champion, Adam Hangman Page, defeating Kenny Omega for the world title. A long delayed payoff here. Did it pay off for you guys?
Cowboy shit, baby. Yes, this was the ultimate story that was being told through over the course of basically 2 years from when and basically it was just so cool to see that play out on the buildings in Minneapolis as Hangman is riding his horse down the street. I thought that was a great entrance to show kind of wrap up everything that's happened in this whole journey for Hangman Page. And I thought the match completely delivered. I thought it was very interesting that the Young Bucks gave Hangman a little nod ski. Very interesting. We'll see how that plays out later. And then also, like Rick I think Rick had tweeted this, but we had been talking about this forever. We figured this would be the moment that someone kicks out of the one-winged angel, but that didn't even get attempted tonight. So overall, I thought the match delivered. It was main event caliber, great storytelling, and cowboy shit, baby.
Rick?
I gotta be honest. I thought the ending with the Young Bucks was a little flat. Just a little flat. And I don't know if it's because I had it built up in my mind that we were going to get that one-winged angel kick out and the entire crowd was going to be losing their damn minds. And, all of a sudden Kenny would go for it again and Hangman would counter, he'd hit him with something and then hit the buckshot lariat. I thought the Young Bucks on the outside was just a little too poetic, for me. I don't know how it came off for the crowd. And maybe the crowd was a little bit confused because the crowd was down. When you want to build up to that big ending like that, you want to continuously build up. You don't want to build up and then come back down. They did that several times tonight where I think they ended the match at kind of like an awkward point where it wasn't like, all right, here's the damn finish. We know it's coming. We're excited. We're ramping up for it.
Women's title was a good example of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Britt Baker should have, we'll get to this, but Britt Baker should have won on the second curb stop after she hit Ty Conti on the steel steps. So the ending to the match itself fell a little flat to me because it didn't have that smooth crescendo straight up.
Didn't have
But-
the umph. Didn't have the umph you were looking for.
It didn't have the umph. It was, but other than that, man, yeah, no, the match 100% delivered. Those two beat the absolute hell out of each other. A lot of landing like on the back of the neck and top of the head. There was a lot of times I found myself audibly going, "Oh shit, Jesus!"
A lot of middle fingers tonight too.
Yeah, a lot of middle fingers, a lot of MFs. This
a lot of MFs.
This was definitely a PG.
We're on
13
pay-per-view. Yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't see that on Friday night on Fox. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
Because you don't need to.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone calling the Bucks dipshits. Oh, the dipshits are here.
Oh, here come the dipshits.
Oh, that was so good.
Overall, though, yes, this was the culmination of one of the greatest long-term storytellings, long-term bookings, stories, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is exactly how it needed to end. This was the perfect time to strike while the iron was hot. They gave us just a little bit of a doubt early in the night, like, oh, damn, maybe Hangman's not going to win with Bryan Danielson being the new number one contender. But no.
But this isn't WWE, so.
Yeah, this was this was the right time. I know the money is in the chase, but eventually you got to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and Hangman Adam Page found his pot tonight, and it was the right call for sure.
Yeah, there would have been a riot. There would have been a riot if he wouldn't have won. If he would not have won tonight, there would have been a riot, because it's like, you made us wait this long for that payoff and you're not going to give it to us. And I know, I saw a lot of people were worried after Bryan Danielson had won that match, but man, thank God. And it's a moment, and that championship celebration is going to be a whole lot of fun with Hangman this week.
I did like the hot. Sorry to cut you off, Kev. I did like the Dark Order coming out, and they're like, "Hey, we got a beer for you," and he's like, "F that beer, give me a damn hug.
Give me a hug,
hug time,
brother's hug."
Now it's worth noting, I saw a lot of people speculate online here. I watched the match, I enjoyed it. I think you guys kind of carry the sentiment. I'm more with Rick on this, where I thought, damn good, fine main event, but was it 2 years worth the wait? No. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with 2 years worth of wait. Was this worth 2 years worth of wait and a $50 payoff?
Well, the 2 years.
I'm on the fence. I could watch it again and maybe my mind changes. I'm fresh off the show. This was a fine main event. This is a fine pay-per-view. It felt like a pay-per-view that was worth $50. Was the payoff at the end of the show worth $50? I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think 2 years is basically from when he lost to Jericho, but the story with Kenny Omega has been more of the course of a year.
You can't swing the needle, Jeremy. This was the payoff. This was the story. This was everything from when they started to now, all right? And was it as good as that? I don't know. Yeah. Was it as good as worth the production of let's shut down a street in a major American city so we can have someone walk out on a horse? That was cool.
I loved it.
You got to pay it off.
Yeah.
Now you got to give him the steak. Was it the steak? It was a damn good match, but you built this thing up with expectations that I'm saying they're very good, but there's 100% of expectations. Did you get past 85? I don't know yet. I'm not putting doubt in anyone's mind. If you watch this show and you had a good time, let it be known. Hammer the like button. Let me know what you think here. Juan Gonzalez says, yes, it was worth it. So he's feeling it was good here. Kamar Burrow saying, here, Ricky Costello, that was a long match. It was great. Long does not equate great.
Not always.
So we have to hammer that out.
Guys, I disagree with Rick. I thought it was too short.
Yeah, it was 25 minutes was about the length.
I agree.
Of it.
I thought they were coming up on the pay-per-view window and they needed more time here.
Tony in his media briefing on Thursday said, look, the pay-per-view is going to be 4 hours. This sumbitch cut off at 11:59 p.m.
Yep.
So how long was that?
It was 4
right
hours
on the dot.
On the dot, dang near. And there was also a spot where you heard it plain as day in the match that happened before it, the big Minneapolis street fight with American Top Team. You could hear Jericho running in saying, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go
home.
And then the match was over about 5 minutes after that Jericho did that spot. So you could tell that they were trying to speed this up so they could get this sucker done before midnight. I don't know why they had to get it done or they felt like they had to get it done before midnight, but it did feel like there was some time that was cut off of the main event that I don't think you needed to cut off. I would have been happy if this match would have gone another 35. Not another 35, but gone 35 as
up to
opposed
35. Yeah, and then you could add the stuff like Hangman kicking out of the one-winged angel and things like that. You could have added those things, but then you went with the a different direction, protected that finisher, which hey, there's no shame in protecting the one-winged angel still. We were hoping it would kick out, somebody would kick out of it. Nobody's kicked out of it in his entire career, so maybe maybe
we
not.
were kind of right. Because it was Kenny who kicked out of the one-winged angel.
Right, good point. Good point.
So somebody did kick out of the one-winged angel tonight.
That was well executed.
Finisher. No one kicks out of my finisher except me.
What's your finisher?
Well, it came off. It abundantly came off like, well, I can kick out of my finisher, but you can't kick out of my finisher.
Yeah.
I got that. There was a lot of sprinkles of, well, if I'm going to lose this belt, you do my finisher on me, and then I get to kick out of my finisher. There's these weird semantic ego games that were being played in this match.
Yeah, but hypothetically, you should never lose on your own finisher because that guy delivering it is not...
Hypothetically, but that doesn't mean anything. This is professional wrestling where it's superheroes fighting each other.
I mean, how many times in the Attitude Era...
No, Jeremy, this is 2 years worth of wait. Did it deliver? It was almost there. It was just a little bit short for me. That doesn't mean I felt cheated, I don't feel like super cheated by it. It was just a little bit short. It's okay.
We had a whole Attitude Era of people kicking out of each other's finishers.
Yeah,
and it never ended a match when somebody dropped a pedigree on Triple H. It never ended the match.
But now you've reverted things to meaning something. So now when they mean something and you break something, then you're breaking a real stone. Then it means something. This was supposed to mean something, Jeremy. Does it mean as much as it was supposed to mean? That's all I'm asking everyone to say.
I think look, yes. All right. In that sense, yes. Hangman Adam Page is the AEW World Champion. They could not have told this story better. The only thing that is keeping this from, being, filet mignon as opposed to a really good, porterhouse is just that ending didn't quite crescendo all the way to the 3 count.
And why didn't it? Because we had to have the Dark Order. We had to have the Bucks. We had to have too many other people out there besides the 2 guys fighting for the world title. What did I tell you on Thursday, Rick? We did the Inside Cradle. I said they were going to have too many people out in the ring. And what did they do? They almost had too many people out in the ring, and they had just enough people.
Because it was really only Don Callis that got, involved, and you knew that he was going to.
Sure.
What I didn't want, and this is what we were talking about, what I didn't want was the gang war shit where, here comes the Young Bucks. Okay, now the Dark Order's getting involved in the match, and now people are hitting Kenny Omega, and now somebody hit Page with the belt, and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't want. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
And, if you look back at Rampage, that promo that Adam Page cut backstage where he basically said, where he was talking to the Bucks saying, look, I'm sorry, we're even. If you screw me over tomorrow night, I will end you. And that was them paying off, that promo from that night is, look, the Young Bucks came down, but they didn't screw him over. They were like, all right, you know what? F it. It is your time. Hit that buckshot lariat, young son, and go. My only issue was it kind of makes Kenny Omega look doofusy because he was just kind of standing there doing the Mortal Kombat wobble for a few seconds.
Finish him.
But he did just get a buckshot lariat to the back of the head. So it is
2 of them, didn't it? Wasn't it 2?
Yeah, it was a couple.
Yeah.
He got one from behind and he got another one.
I'm just
Kev's turned into Bernie over here. Weekend at Kev's.
Like I said, I'm nitpicking there because I had something built up in my mind how I wanted to see it, and I don't think the crowd was ready. I don't think they thought that the match was going to be over at that point.
Yeah.
But
and I think if they would have done maybe more of a visual cue with the Young Bucks, because the crowd didn't, I don't know if the crowd kind of caught on. They would have had to been watching the monitors in order to see the nod from the Bucks, maybe. So maybe if they did a little more visual cue, just like pointing at Omega or something like that, maybe it would have been a little more effective. Of course, us at home saw it perfectly, but I don't know if the crowd, it's kind of hard to tell with the people that were in the crowd.
And they did that a lot tonight. That's one of my big complaints is there wasn't like, there were at least 4 or 5 of these matches where they're just, the ending just came out of nowhere. And then the crowd was like, oh, hell, we weren't expecting that. Oh, yay. Britt Baker.
And why do you think that happened?
I don't know.
I just didn't edit themselves. They didn't produce the matches to end in a certain way. No one stopped themselves from saying, I want this. Let me get this. No, you have 8 minutes. So let's make sure we get 8 minutes. Let's make sure we get 25. Let's make sure we get 30 minutes. There was a lot of people being. There was only one match I saw tonight where I felt like, and mind you, I had a problem with BR Live. Did anyone else have a problem with BR Live?
No, I went straight to Bleacher Report. I didn't do the BR Live. I went straight to Bleacher Report, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever.
All right, so I went through BR Live, and I couldn't watch the pay-per-view until almost 8. So,
because I thought they got rid of BR Live.
There will be some matches where I pin to you guys and see what happens.
Yeah, I thought they got rid of BR Live and infused it with Bleacher Report. I thought. My favorite pay-per-view wrestler of all time is Bryan Danielson, and I need to see him wrestle tonight. So my issue is with that. I was like, give me HBO Max. I'm paying for it. Get a live channel on it. Don't mess with me anymore. Give me Fight TV. I know where it is. I have the app. It's fine. It
BR
works.
Live, I delete it. I upload it. I only get it when I'm having an AEW pay-per-view.
And this is where we've been spoiled by WWE over the last few years, is because we basically get these pay-per-views for free. It's $9.99 or $13.99, whatever the hell the inflation has been since the inception of the network. The only issues that we've had is, yes, we don't have to pay $50 for these pay-per-views that we get every month. But you're at the will of the Peacock gods now, that hoping that app works unless you're there in person.
Hear 8 commentary teams at once.
But again, if I do have problems with Peacock, at least I'm going, well, it's just a $9.99 subscription, as opposed to if I got problems with Bleacher Report, I just shelled out $50.
Yeah,
and I got to order it on my phone and hope that the authentication works on my laptop to be able to connect to my TV or my Roku or all these other things. They don't have the symmetry between the apps. They don't have the proper layout. You can say all the other crap you want about WWE. You get Peacock, you get the pay-per-view. If it's down, they give it back to you as soon as possible. You're not going to get this back on BR Live within a few hours. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, right? But if you're international, you got Fight TV, and it was a better presentation than BR Live. And I'm not the only person saying this. I'm not the only person saying this.
I think AEW would benefit greatly from partnering up with some kind of a streaming service. I think HBO Max makes a ton of sense.
Gentlemen, we got to go to the arena. We got to go to the arena right now in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Got to run in.
Joining us right now, big run in. We're going to put him up solo on the screen there. How you doing there, Sid? SP3 live from Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center. Sid, I know you're leaning your head into the speaker. I'm gonna pitch it to you. Just give me 60 seconds, your quick thoughts on the pay-per-view tonight, Full Gear. Your thoughts, your takeaways, big moments that maybe someone didn't see at home.
I thought the show was fantastic. Just especially like the first 4 or 5 matches, just always hit great matches back to back. There was probably just 2 matches that were on like the weaker side, and like Britt Baker versus Ty Conti, which was still solid, and Pac and Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. The opener is honestly one of the best AEW matches I've ever seen live in Darby Allin and MJF. Same thing could be said for the main event, because there was just a whole vibe and, just atmosphere, big fight feel for that main event. And to finally see Hangman complete his story after 2.5 years, it just made for the perfect ending to the show. And I was actually sitting right next to my friend that actually went to All Out, and I asked him, what was the better show? And he said tonight, because top to bottom, there was no bad matches, everything delivered, and you just got 4 hours of great professional wrestling.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, SB3. For those watching, why is SB3 turning the camera? Headphones, man. That's what's going on. Rick, get in there.
Sid, I did want to ask you about the finish, since you were in the crowd. Now, you were up pretty close. Your seats were pretty sweet, by the way, for anybody who didn't see his tweets this evening. Pretty damn sweet. The problem I had with the only problem I had with the main event was the actual ending itself, because it seemed like it fell a little bit flat, because it kind of crescendoed up and then they kind of dropped it down. They didn't keep that momentum going, and I think a lot of that had to do with the Young Bucks coming down, and I think everybody in the crowd kind of thought maybe they were going to get involved in some way, shape, or form. Was there any kind of confusion with what was going on? Did you guys think that that was going to be the ending of the match? And then, or what, just how surprised were you when the 3 count happened?
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising that was it. I think a lot of people were expecting Hangman to kick out of the One Wing Angel. I think that was probably why it came off like that to a couple of people. For me and everyone else in the crowd, I mean, they popped huge for the victory, and I think the peak of the match was the One Wing Angel kick out from Hangman to Kenny. So you kind of had to finish the match like immediately after that, and it's very similar to a finish that you usually see a lot in like big match New Japan matches. So you can really see that the layout for this match was by Kenny Omega, because this felt like a G1 climax type of like main event type of matchup. And just the storytelling, the callbacks to all the great matches, that last year's Full Gear, there was like 3 callbacks to that opener of last year's Full Gear match. So just if you're a fan that pays attention, there was nothing to be disappointed about with this main event.
Sid, follow up here. You not just that match. We talked mostly about here Kenny and now the new champion. How about Bryan Danielson? The reaction for him defeating Miro. What was that like?
The Bryan Danielson match was a really, really great match. It was like a David versus Goliath match, but what I've been noticing with AEW, they don't treat Bryan Danielson like WWE treated Daniel Bryan, where he's always the underdog. He's always the smaller competitor. You could visually see that in AEW, but he works like he's a heavyweight. And that's what made this match like really beautiful to watch. I honestly thought Miro was gonna win until the final like top rope DDT move that he did, and then eventually the choke out for the victory. So I thought that match was great. Like I said, the opener was just I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about that opener, but that opener was excellent. Like MJF, Darby Allin had this Minneapolis crowd on their feet, on fire. Dual chants, a lot of time. Like that was the most surprising thing, because I thought when you look at the whole crowd, the whole card, this is like the most bona fide babyface versus heel matchup. But MJF is just so good at what he does, and me, along with other people we're cheering from, I had to just be a New Yorker and cheer for my fellow New Yorkers. So that's why I did it. True heel.
The thing that I love most about that match was I wasn't expecting it to be some kind of like technical wrestling showcase, but that's exactly what it turned out to be. And then they kind of played into that story as well, where he said, look, I could beat Darby Allin with a headlock takeover. Yeah, he hit him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but then he still beat the MFer with a headlock takeover.
He still did it.
I've said before that I think Darby Allin, everybody looks at him as this daredevil and this high flyer, and he uses, his agility and everything. The guy is a really solid technical wrestler as well. And MJF underrated as well. And those two definitely showed out tonight. You don't get a whole lot of standing ovations these days for technical wrestling, because we just don't see that kind of showcase that often anymore.
Yeah, and when you bill it as 2 of the 4 pillars of the company, and you have those 2 guys lead off a pay-per-view, and they deliver like that, it makes you feel good, because you feel good that these are going to be the guys to lead you in the present and to lead you in the future. And when they put that moniker on them, it could cause a lot of pressure, and you could fold under that pressure. And these guys proved that they did not fold under that pressure when they were tasked with leading off a pay-per-view tonight.
Sid, before we have you sign off here, I appreciate that. Just if you can poke your head to the ear.
I just saw Britt Baker going to across the street at the hotel. So
don't chase her for a photo. Don't
go get some dental work
for a photo. You're on duty right now.
Get
Sid.
some dental work.
No. I never ask for photos unless it's Thunder Rosa.
You did get a photo with Thunder Rosa tonight. I do want to ask you, is there anything you saw in the crowd tonight? Maybe something interesting that maybe you didn't expect from an AEW crowd tonight? Maybe something we couldn't see on television that you got to see? Little notes, little things you got to see in the seats there in the Target Center.
I mean, there wasn't really. I was just really blown away by like the crowd response, because Minneapolis is not known as one of the louder cities, but they
even
were
for
right
WWE,
up there with, like,
even
Chicago
for WWE,
or New York. As far as like seeing any stuff that I saw from the seats, honestly, it was just the energy where you could tell the matches that they were invested in. Like I said, they were into Britt Baker, but they really weren't into the match with Ty Conti. They were into booing Cody Rhodes out of the building, but they weren't into the tag match that they had. But those two matches happened, and then Punk and Eddie Kingston have, and you're thinking the crowd is tired, and then they just shot back up, and they just had a whole burst of energy for that matchup. And like it's amazing how great Eddie Kingston is as a babyface, that he made this crowd boo CM Punk. This crowd went from cheering CM Punk nonstop to booing him. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was gonna bring up here. You know, the crowd reaction with CM Punk. It's almost like, wait a minute, hold on now. Is the honeymoon phase starting to come to an end here? Because Eddie Kingston did kind of pull off that miracle tonight where everybody wanted to see Eddie win this match, that they were booing CM Punk. And by the way, I think the biggest pop for me personally, Sid, was when we got that 5-knuckle shuffle team from CM Punk tonight. That was damn good.
Man, you noticed that you noticed that Punk looked at the crowd too when they started booing him. Like, are we gonna? Like I think you could see the wheels turning in Punk's head when he got booed. He's like, maybe we can do a little something with this here in the future, because he definitely noticed the boos that were coming his way.
I think he's been waiting for this.
Yes, I agree.
He has said it in some of his promos, like, hey, look, eventually you're going to get tired of Cult of Personality and seeing me in a wrestling ring, but I'm going to ride this wave until it's finally done. I think he's been waiting for a night like tonight where he gets a negative reaction, Sid.
Yeah.
Sid, just want to let you go here for a minute. I appreciate you doing this. I want to plug where they can get you. I know you're doing a whole bunch of different things for us and other outlets as well.
Yes, they can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I'll be back with Rick and Dutch next Friday after SmackDown and Rampage. I also am doing the pay-per-view preview this coming week for Survivor Series. So me and Kenny Bolin will be connecting this week to talk about some Survivor Series. I'll also be doing some interviews Survivor Series weekend. So stay on track for that. And of course, over True Hill Heat YouTube channel, all our content is over there. Watch alongs. Roundtable review tomorrow, 12:05 p.m. Eastern time. So check me out over there.
Sid, I think you may be busy as well this Saturday afternoon before Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, I will be whooping Rick like he stole something.
Woo!
Team Rick is going down. He's already got Kevin, who I set records against on his team.
Took him to the woodshed.
Jose to the promised land. Jose took an L to Kev. So I'm balancing things out.
Jose took an L to
the
Kev
scores that
and
me and
to
Jose
me.
got against Kev, I think we will beat the whole team of Team Rick.
I love how Sid doesn't pause to listen. He just cuts the promo. He just goes full.
Not only did Jose lose to Kev, but Jose lost to me twice.
God bless you. November 20th. All right, Saturday before Survivor Series. Stay tuned. Keep your alerts on. We'll be live that afternoon. Sid, thank you so much. Get back to the hotel, buddy. Crash out.
Thank you. It is cold out here, and I'm not talking about New York cold. So I appreciate all of y'all.
Midwest cold, baby. Midwest cold.
See you, Sid.
Yeah.
Take care, Sid.
A lot of people who have never. I know media people from California and Florida who are going into Minnesota tonight. And they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, wake up.
It didn't take too long for these boys. Tonight's AEW pay-per-view was 1,000 times better than all WWE pay-per-views. It has to be. 10, it has to be. We have to compare. Let's jump into the matches on the show here. He covered some of them. Bryan Danielson defeats Miro in the World Title Eliminator Finals. He is the next shot at Hangman Page, the new champion here, defeating Miro. He's been in AEW less than a few months and is already probably the top guy in the company next to the world champion. Probably even bigger now than Kenny Omega when things fall where they are. What do you guys think of this match? I got cut off in the pay-per-view Michigash with it. Jeremy, your take.
I thought it was really hard hitting, very well done between those two. Some great psychology working the body part. But these two guys, they're not any strangers to each other. They did wrestle in WWE as well. But as Bryan, as Danielson had mentioned in his promo, You know, Miro has grown since then, and you could see it in this match. They put together a great, hard-hitting 20-minute match that really could have went either way. You know, I picked Miro to win this because I thought John Moxley was going to originally win the tournament and start a feud with Hangman Page. But, you know, I'm happy that Brian got the win here. You know, he's still undefeated in AEW. Whenever they decide to do the title match with Hangman, probably going to be on a special Dynamite edition. I don't think they're going to drag this out all the way to Revolution just because it's face versus face. But we're going to see yet another great title match once we get that one going with those two guys.
Ricky, get in there.
Yeah, this one I was conflicted on because I kind of see it as a lose-lose situation because whomever comes out on top of this match, I don't see them beating Hangman Adam Page.
No.
So you know, I could be wrong. I would hope that they wouldn't spend 2 years building up the Hangman's big title win just to have him drop it to somebody else in a month or two. I mean, it would add a sense of realism to it, but let's not do that. All right. You can make the decisions. We don't have to be too real with it. Wrestling. So I'd hope that he'd have at least a little bit. So in that effect, I was kind of happy that Bryan Danielson won this matchup tonight because when Miro finally does get a shot at the AEW World Championship, that MFer better frickin' win it, and he better hold it for a very, very, very long time. I think that's part of the reason why Miro wasn't in the tournament in the first place. So the match itself, yes, very, very hard hitting. I like that Miro didn't tap. Miro didn't get pinned. He got choked out. It's a believable way for a guy like Daniel Bryan, a submission specialist, to win this matchup over just a brute. So I thought overall the match was right. I think in the end they made the right decision putting it on Bryan Danielson. And now, let's cowboy shit this up. Let's get going with Danielson and Hangman. But I think Hangman also, if this is going to be his first title defense, beating Bryan Danielson in your first title defense really kind of sets off that championship run on the right foot there.
Yeah. And like Nick in the chat here, when's Lana coming? When Miro pointed to the sky, I thought she was going to show up. You know, he was pointing to the sky, asking God, why is this not going my way? I thought Lana was going to show up there.
He's a man of faith, Jeremy.
Yeah. But I thought that was a spot for Lana to come out there, but not.
I don't know.
It's
a spot for God. That's what it's a spot for. His Lord and Savior.
See, here's the thing, though. Lana's been in AEW as a reference character for months now. So,
yeah, my hot wife,
my hot double jointed wife. Make sure to throw in double jointed
down below.
But I mean, so she's
paint the picture, Jeremy.
Why not?
I would love
it's like a Harlequin novel.
I would love to see Lana in AEW. I think it'll happen eventually, but I don't think they need to rush into it at this point.
No. They don't need to sign up for that double standard. People,
she's pretty.
When Lana comes out, but they boo her if she walked out in WWE. They don't need to sign up for that.
I think she's pretty busy with her career right now too. Anyways,
yeah, she's got tons of other stuff going.
Yeah,
let's jump into this one. This tag team opener, Lucha Brothers, FTR, wild one from SP3. What do you think, guys?
I think if you did a drinking game, take a shot every time there was a super kick, you would have been passed out by 8:15.
Yeah.
Roughly Central Time.
Jeremy, your take?
Hey, props to Mikey Ruckus for remixing that Lucha Bros theme. I love it. I thought this was great. I thought FTR was going to win once they got the masks out. I thought they were going to overturn that decision because the wrong guy got pinned.
Right,
exactly. I thought they were going to restart the match and FTR was going to come out the champion. So a little odd there at the end, but again, I mean, these are two of the best tag teams on the planet, so no surprise that we got a great showing from those guys. Just a little odd of a finish.
Yeah, this was the first one of the night where I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on with the finish? Because you had Cash go down and put on the green mask, and so he's not the legal guy, but he's the fresh guy, so he gets in there and then he gets his ass kicked and he ends up getting pinned, and it's really, really confused, and the crowd was kind of, again, trying to crescendo to a finish. They do this mask stuff, and it's like the crowd comes back down, and then all of a sudden they hit the double move to the Lucha Bros.
Oh my God, Rick! It's almost like someone didn't step in and tell them not to do something.
Well, you don't know how shit's gonna work out, Kevin, until you actually do it.
Yeah,
So
you don't know
even
how
the
shit's
best
going to
laid
work out
plans
because you
can be
don't
screwed
get out
up.
of your own bullshit. That's why you don't do that. Because you don't suspend yourself to the idea of a story that's bigger than yourself. That's an issue, and it keeps becoming an issue. Mind you, the matches that were great on this played within their limitations. And I'm even talking about Hangman Page, and that even had the other BS of people got to get themselves in the main event.
Right.
You know, it's Sean Puff Diddy Combs, right? It was the West Coast rappers ripping on. Look at you showing yourself up in the music video, getting yourself in this song, putting yourself in this thing. Same thing in this match too, man. This is the same thing. I'm not broken on this record.
And
I just think it's a simple case of overbooking. They had this idea and it just didn't work out well. And that was one of a few instances tonight. So the match was fantastic. Again, if I see another super kick, you know, it's going to be too soon if I ever see one again. But I'm just in that point now where I'm so over the super kick. So that's just a me problem. But yeah, the ending kind of fell flat, but overall it was good. And I thought the Lucha Brothers hanging on to the titles was the right move.
If you're still with this 35 minutes in, let us know what you think of the show. Rate it 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. We'll give our ratings before the end of the show. I thought it was a fine show. I thought it was a very, very strong show. Let's jump right into this here. Let's talk about this women's title match here. AEW women's title match on the main card. Tay Conti, all decked out in the Brazilian-American cross-continental vibes. She comes out to take over the very over champion, the DMD of AEW, Britt Baker. This match was good. Felt a little bit rushed. Some interference, but still a strong match. But at no point did I ever buy that Tay Conti was taking this belt off Britt Baker.
And that's why there was not as much energy in the crowd, because they didn't buy it either. They don't. I think it's going to be a Thunder Rosa or Ruby Riott to take it off of her eventually, and so that's why the crowd wasn't quite into it. But I still thought it was a great championship showing for Tay Conti in a stage. You know, this is basically the biggest match of her career. I thought she looked real good in it.
She is quickly becoming one of my favorite people to watch in AEW, especially her quick strike, you know, kind of pump action kicks that she does in the corner.
Yeah, I like those.
She's really, really smooth in the ring. She's got a great personality. You know, you can see it come out as well. I was hoping that the crowd would be a little bit more behind her in this match and would be a little bit more invested in this match. And at this point, I just thought they were tired. And it wasn't until CM Punk's music hit that I'm like, oh no, they were just asleep during that damn match for whatever reason. And, you know, so I was a little disappointed that more people weren't into it. But yeah, I think you make a good point that at no point did anybody ever think that Tay Conti was actually going to win this. It was just trying to get to the inevitability of, okay, here comes Rebel. Who's going to provide the distraction to allow Britt Baker?
But that's lame, Rick.
On top.
Rick, that's lame. Inevitability is not a factor that AEW has purchased or promoted in their shows.
But and that's my biggest problem with Britt Baker matches is the endings are usually the same.
Great. The inevitability of it, not great.
She's going to get some kind of outside interference when she should have lost the match. It's going to enable her to put in the lockjaw and she's going to win. I would like
Triple H 03 vibes all over it.
It sounds a lot like Roman Reigns over on SmackDown.
Yeah, but his are interesting. You believe at some point somebody could beat him for it.
No,
I don't believe anyone's going to beat Britt Baker.
Close. Not even close. I don't get that vibe with Roman Reigns at all. I haven't believed that Roman Reigns was going to drop that belt at any point, except for when he fought Brock Lesnar. Did I actually think that somebody could take that damn title off?
But at the same point, I'm not losing intrigue in it. You know what I mean? Like they do the big entrance with Tay, and it's like cool, all right. But once the bell rings, no one bought it. I'm not being disingenuous. I'm not being lame. I'm not being a shit talker. No one bought it. You didn't buy it, Jeremy. You're telling me you didn't buy it. So I mean, like, I'm not talking crap about it.
I think the thing is that the women's division, while it still has come a very, very long way from when AEW first started,
a long ways to go.
It still does. Yes, the talent is there. They have really, really talented people in Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa and yes, Tay Conti and Jade Cargill, still a little bit green, but she's there as well. Chris Statlander's great, but you don't, and I don't mean this in a bad way, you don't have anybody who's on the star power level as Britt Baker.
Yeah. That'll come in time with those young women like Chris Statlander, like Tay Conti, even Anna Jay is another example. That's going to come in time.
Thunder Rosa is probably the only exception. Yeah. And they're trying to build up to that.
She's a little more seasoned though than the others,
yes,
but
absolutely. Yes.
yeah, and of course, Ruby Soho, is, which I think she's going to win that TBS title. I think, to be honest with you,
I think that is earmarked for Jade Cargill.
You think so?
I don't
you think so?
Anybody's taking down Jade. To be clear.
I don't know. I just don't feel it with the backing with Jade. It's always these short matches and things like that, and
she's being built to look dominant. She's
you're being built to hide your weaknesses too.
She's not
past 20 minutes. All right, let's hide that.
It just doesn't feel like she's being featured a lot, and so I don't know if there's a backing for her to continue that undefeated streak. So
also, it's heel versus heel. Where's a baby face?
Yeah,
who am I rooting for? I don't know.
And that's the other thing that I wish that they would do. What they would do with Dr. Britt Baker is just go ahead and turn her babyface, because she's the most over damn star.
She's over than half the men.
Yes. Just go ahead.
All baby faces have two different people outside the ring that help them win matches, right?
Well, and that's the other thing, is I would like to see her actually win some matches of her own merit. That is the one thing that I did kind of like about this finish tonight, though. Even though it should have ended when Ty Conti got the stomp on the steel step and the stomp in the ring. That should have been the finish. There's no reason why Britt Baker should have tried to go in for the lockjaw other than arrogance. But maybe that was the case. But Ty Conti, Britt wanted to end this match on her own terms. She wanted to end it with the lockjaw. That was the story she was trying to tell. And in the end, she had to roll her up and beat her. So Ty Conti kind of got a little bit of a moral victory there and looked strong in the fact of, all right, you didn't do it your way. You had to do it this other way.
Yeah.
That they try to do those details in matches, and there's a ton of them that don't get through the noise of everything that's going on. That didn't get to me until you even brought it up. I didn't even see it. So that's why I note that. Let's talk about this here. We have other people saying, "Oh, all these people are supposed to show up tonight. We're gonna get Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt. We're gonna get Braun Strowman. Where were they?
We got somebody.
We got somebody. We got somebody here. Yeah. Steven Chambers bringing it up here. Guys, think of Jay Lethal, All Elite. Lethal versus Sammy Guevara, Dynamite, going to be a great match. Yeah, they already set this one up right away.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone on the ramp making a special announcement that Jay Lethal, the former Ring of Honor World Champion, a man who was a big part of the kind of pilot episode of All Elite Wrestling, which was the All In pay-per-view from 2018, he will be All Elite. So he is All Elite right now. He is not under contract right now from what we've known. I asked sources, I asked some people that were on the ground at the show. They didn't know anything just yet, but it's worth noting anyone under contract with Ring of Honor through the end of the year is still under contract with them, but they are allowed to work other shows, other dates.
Yeah.
So that's been public knowledge. So there's no dots that need to be, deeply connected or any other outside sources. That's 100% true. You're getting Lethal versus Sammy Guevara. This is a hot pickup for them.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Lethal's been around so long, but you don't realize he's only 36. And it's exciting. A lot of possibilities with Jay Lethal. Good to see that he is going to be wrestling and not on a promotion, whether it be, we talked about it earlier this week on Top Story. We probably thought he might go back to Impact, but it's kind of cool to see him in All Elite just because of all these matches that he can have. Of course, he had a classic in Ring of Honor with Cody Rhodes when Cody was one of the best heels in the nation. People are booing Cody now, so maybe they can run that back too somewhere down the line.
Mm-hmm. Rick, your take, Jay Lethal and AEW.
Sure. Why the hell not? I mean, he's a really talented guy. He's going to add more depth to an already really, really stacked bench. I think a lot of people, had that pipe dream in their mind that, we were going to get Bray Wyatt tonight, or somebody else might show up. Maybe Danhausen would,
I had people DMing me tonight saying they saw Bray Wyatt at the airport. Didn't see him.
Nope. I did not expect Wyatt tonight. Obviously, Danhausen has a broken leg, so he's out for a few.
Exactly. I know. I'm just throwing Danhausen out there because I think Danhausen is a slam dunk for AEW when he is healthy.
Yeah, he's got some friends there, but great video from Danhausen because he's in a wheelchair right now, and Zach and Matt Cardona as Zack Ryder recreated the Kane segment with Danhausen. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was.
Let's jump into the Inner Circle versus Men of the Year Top Team Street Fight. This one was all over the place. A lot of different stuff here. You had American Top Team. This is the big MMA gym led by Dan Lambert, a guy who had some experience in wrestling and Impact. knows how to cut a promo.
Yeah.
He's out there in his velour tracksuit on the outside of the ring.
Somebody online called him a dork, and as a dork myself, I was very insulted by that.
I think that was Philip Lindsay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's taking on Chris Jericho and his Inner Circle team. A lot of different things that were instituted that were invented in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The ski jump, the snow ski.
I was waiting for somebody to get hit with a lutefisk, but it didn't happen.
There was a toaster, which I never knew was invented in Minneapolis.
Prince symbol, the Prince symbol,
the Prince symbol, which got a bigger pop. I think they should have used that bigger, and got a Purple Rain
chant.
Yeah,
this match seemed to go long. You guys mentioned it earlier. It was very audible when Chris Jericho yelled,
"Go
bring it home, bring it home!"
No, but that wasn't even the most egregious audible. That came when he was going to try to do the lion salt to Dan Lambert.
Yep.
He hung on the rope and he screamed, "Junior!"
Yep, to get up
this
on
is
the.
when you're supposed to hit me. He didn't say that, but he just screamed "Junior" and kind of hung on the ropes. And then DeSantos came up and punched him. So there were a couple.
It wasn't the worst bet.
Why were they doing a traditional 10-man tag in the beginning?
That's my question.
What the hell?
This was a street fight, and the first 10 minutes of the damn match was a 10-man tag match, and then all of a sudden Dan Lambert gets in there, and everybody's like, "Oh wait, this is a street fight, ain't it?" All right, screw all these damn.
I guess maybe to highlight Sammy and Scorpio, because that's a hell of a one-on-one match. That's the only excuse I could come out of that whole thing with it.
It didn't make any sense. This was my least favorite match of the night. I think it had a lot to do with the fact that we had already seen a Falls Count Anywhere match earlier on in the night that really kind of went balls to the wall. So this one, I'm just sitting here. And again, it got to the point where it's the end of the night, and me personally, I'm dog ass tired. I'm like, all right, let's just get to Hangman. Let's just get to Hangman. So when I heard Jericho come in and say, "Hey, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go," I'm like, all right, let's get going. Let's get to the end of the match here. So, but Dan Lambert, that's what everybody wanted. He wanted to see him get his ass kicked. He got it tonight. I did, by the way, and I know it was brought up earlier in the chat. I loved Jericho doing the frog splash.
Yeah.
A lot of Eddie Guerrero love tonight, who passed away, 16 years ago today?
To this day, yep.
To this day, in Minneapolis, maybe, possibly.
Ooh, yes.
I believe so. So I loved all the Eddie love tonight.
Yeah.
And Jericho hitting the frog splash on Dan Lambert to win. That was a really
good
match.
That was good.
The end of the match was the best part.
And as Steven says in the chat there, the Van Raschke claw, I loved that too. That was a lot of fun seeing him do that. But just give him that claw. Yeah.
You gotta hold the wrist so you know it's more painful.
Gotta hold it. Yeah.
All right, he was at ringside there. That was a little bit of a maneuver.
I will say though, Junior DeSantos looked like he knew what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, he did, and it was really surreal to see him and Arlovsky do tandem tag matches.
They protected Arlovsky. They didn't have him out there doing too much. He got out there. He did his one spot in the turnbuckle, and then they pushed him away just to make sure they could hit the spot.
Right. There were just some spots where they kind of forgot their placement, or they forgot what they were supposed to do, and that's it's understandable when you're getting into the world of professional wrestling at this level. There's a lot of shit going on. You don't realize how much is going on in a wrestling match until you're actually inside of a wrestling match. Trust me, I know from experience. It's a lot to keep track of. So look, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm not saying Jericho did anything wrong by screaming at Junior DeSantos, "Hey, you're supposed to hit me now." It's like that scene in Mortal Kombat where Johnny Cage is like, "This is where you fall down."
Yeah.
I think that has to do more with the production. Turn the mic down. Turn the ring mic down there.
Well,
and I don't know that's going to happen.
When he's screaming it, that's
kind of hard. And you can see Ethan Page doing it too, helping him out too, helping his teammates out, going, being where you're supposed to be and things like that. So it's kind of cool to see people act professional and help each other out to get the best product out there possible.
Let's hammer it down with this Falls Count Anywhere 6-man match, the Jurassic Express, with one Christian Cage taking on the Super Click Party, the Super Click gang of Adam Cole and the Young Bucks of the Elite. This is pretty brutal. Jungle Man, now no longer Jungle Boy. He's Jungle Man.
He's the man. He's a man.
Of course, the Jungle Express, the Jungle Party. Jungle Express and Cage go over with a concerto. A concerto. Cage could have ended it, but he made sure that Jack Perry got to end it.
Yeah.
There is so much in All Elite where there are so many opportunities where somebody else can get the big oomph, but they say, no, Jack Perry needs to get it. We need to give it to Jungle Boy. We need to give it to Jungle Boy. I'm not saying that Jungle Boy doesn't deserve it. But he's lost a lot of big matches. I don't know if he needs it at this point.
When Christian was sitting there on the ramp, I thought he was
at the end.
Yeah,
and he pinned him at the end. It was false count anywhere. It made sense. This was a fine match, all over the place. A lot of wild stuff. Felt like a hard act to follow with the other things they had going on in the show, because this was what, third or fourth match on the show. This was really after Danielson and Miro, correct?
So it's been a long night.
Yeah, it was after. Yeah, it was the fourth match of the night.
Yeah,
I told me a lot of super kicks in that match too. Yeah,
a couple. Yeah, couple.
Yeah, there were a few. I thought this was just the right amount of chaos. I mean, Adam Cole first off got busted open early,
bloody
badly. Like I didn't even see what happened to him. All of a sudden, I just look up and I just see bright red all over my screen. I'm like, Jesus, Adam, what the hell? We're 4 minutes into the match, man. Like,
this guy's reading my mind right here. Yeah, when Christian was sitting on that ramp looking at Jungle Boy getting ready to do the concerto, I thought he was going to come in with a spear, man. I just felt like something weird was going to happen there. So
I kind of got the same vibe, but then I quickly thought, why would Christian go through all of this shit?
Right.
He ain't jumping.
I set him up.
He ain't jumping 20 feet down onto concrete just to lose this match later to screw over Jungle Boy. Like he ain't doing that. So that wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense. But I do like him giving the concerto to Jungle Boy, because Christian's whole big MO since he got there, other than when he challenged Kenny Omega, is, look, I'm here to help out some of these young guys. And they're trying to push Jungle Boy. I think eventually he's going to be a TNT champ and maybe even an AEW World Champion one day. Again, he's one of those 4 pillows, as JR said.
My pillow.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of the 4 pillows. And evenally, I think all
my
4
pillow.
pillows.
You gonna buy my pillow right now? The voting machines don't want you to buy my pillow.
And Jungle Boy has evolved, like somebody said in the chat, he needs to develop. He does need some work, but he's been getting a lot better on the mic lately. He's been cutting some good promos. There's a reason why he's one of the pillows.
He's got a beard now. He's evolving.
He needs
growing up,
becoming a man.
Now you're a man.
Now you're a man. MJF Darby. Let's talk about it. MJF Darby. They opened the show. This one's been built up to for quite some time. Jeremy, your take?
Oh my God. What a perfect way to open up a pay-per-view. These guys just kicked ass and took names. They're the reason why they're 2 of the 4 pillows. Because my pillow. This is how you open a major pay-per-view with these 2 guys. They just brought it everywhere, all around the ring. And, like Sid was mentioning earlier, it wasn't necessarily just dives and flips. You saw a lot of great technical wrestling between these 2 guys, and the crowd was invested. It was just a tremendous opening match.
Yeah, this was the match that I think, was perfect to jerk the curtain, because you knew the second that MJF was out there, they were invested. They were in. You were going to get a reaction. They want to see MJF get his comeuppance. They want to see him get his ass kicked. They love Darby Allin as well. This wasn't the typical Darby Allin match that we've seen. A lot of technical wrestling. I think this match had 3, maybe 4 standing ovations from the crowd, throughout it. And 2 of them were after like technical wrestling spots. But I'll tell you what, man, you saw enough of Darby Allin. I mean, I thought that one of the best shots of the whole damn night was MJF tossing him into the ring, and he just gets up, runs to the corner, runs right to the middle of the ropes, and then boom, here comes through the bottom rope there, the cannon that comes out.
The speed, man. How does he not get hurt?
I don't know.
How does that not hurt?
The camera angle was perfect.
Yeah.
Where you saw just how fast and how hard he hit MJF, and it was just beautifully captured. One of my favorite moments. And then I thought it was booked to perfection, where the fact that yes, MJF, we've seen him use the diamond ring 1,000,000 times, but it doesn't matter, because he still beat Darby Allin the way that he said he was going to beat him, and that was with the side headlock takeover.
Yep. And like I said earlier with when Sid was on, when you got that moniker that you're one of these 4 pillars, and you're brought into, basically the second biggest spot on a pay-per-view is the first match of the night. And when you deliver, that just shows why you're one of those 2, why you're 2 of those 4 pillows. So JR is never going to live that down. I'm sure he's got a tweet about it here later tonight.
Well, don't let someone in their early 20s go off on a man who's a Hall of Famer in his 60s about it. You know?
Yeah, that never
Don't
happens
stop
on
them.
Twitter, does it? Never.
No.
Yeah,
I'm on
never.
Twitter. I have 75 followers. I have authority to
You
go
know,
off
I
on
will say
somebody.
this much. I
You're
think
giving those people credit with 75.
I
look,
know.
when you do something for so long, man, you know, eventually you just kind of lose it a little bit. I would say Michael Cole makes as many or more mistakes on a weekly basis than JR does, and nobody seems to give a shit. I don't know why they want to hammer home JR.
And
he
Michael
makes
Cole doesn't
mistakes-
have to be in a 4-man booth, a 3-man booth.
Yeah,
You know?
so like,
Yeah,
look, JR's going to make his mistakes. It's a live broadcast. If nobody's ever brought, I can't tell you how many just absolutely embarrassing moments I've had in my professional broadcasting career, and none of them have been on national television, and they keep me up at night. Like, so seriously, like it's
And-
hard.
Yeah, and
It's
like
hard.
when we get to talking, you know, and we say their WWE names all the time, like JR does. It's not that, you know, you're used to calling this guy this for so many years. You're gonna call him that every once in a while.
Yeah,
So,
he had a real problem with Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan and
Yeah.
the other thing. So.
yeah, I screwed that up all the time. I
Ooh.
screw up Ruby Soho too. You know, it happens.
Ooh,
I don't know how you can screw up Ruby Soho.
cares.
I don't know how you could screw up Ruby Soho with her new music.
It's true.
How can you disrespect them like that? When
I just saw them in concert too.
Invested this much money on this talent to come in on this platform. Shut up. Get over yourself, dork. Bunch of
You're
dork.
in a mood
The only
tonight.
reason you're doing this is because you already
Live
watched
has
it.
got you
BR
in a mood.
Live got the heel Kevin out tonight.
Yeah, they did. The only reason you're going off on them is because you just want to stink on them because someone paid for you to stink on them, but you haven't been paid to
No.
stink on them.
You
You have
don't-
to prove it to your friends that
Yeah.
aren't watching All Elite Wrestling, that they have to watch it with you and like follow my Facebook post and follow my tweet. You are just shaking ass for someone to come and touch it.
Most
Yeah,
of
that's
these
all you're doing.
most of these assholes are just trying to toe that line to get a retweet, you know,
Yeah.
for 5 seconds of fame. And that's what they're trying to do, is just get a reaction out of these guys by
These same
trashing them.
fans, and this is the toxic culture of wrestling on the internet, right? These same fans are the same people that are going off on Brian Cage. They went off on him. Brian Cage, not on this pay-per-view, all right? A lot of people think maybe he should be, right? Not on television, all these different things, right? Winning titles on the independents, still apparently, as far as we know, under contract with All Elite Wrestling. And sorry, I'm going out there for a little bit. Still under contract. You guys still hear me? You good?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got
no,
you.
We're
Got
good.
you.
So I saw some people go off on him and say, how dare you like a tweet that says you should be in the main event of a pay-per-view? How dare you like a tweet as a wrestler with a televised wrestling company say that you should be? He likes someone else's tweet that said he should be in the main event, not Hangman Page.
Well, I don't know why it's such a big deal that he liked it, because if you don't believe you should be, why are you in the business to begin with?
Thank you, Jeremy. You said what I wanted to say, and guess what? You used your brain to say it, and not just your BS ego. You didn't. You put objectivity and reasoning and logic in front of bullshit. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
and
all
there's so
that
many people,
is.
and this is the problem I have, and people think I'm a real ass with it. A lot of people buy the bullshit of AEW. They buy the bullshit hook, line, and sinker. I saw someone with dreads and a beard, so it's got to be Bray Wyatt at the airport. Braun Strowman's got to be there because he's so mad. And how come these people that just got released this week? How come Keith Lee can't be there? How come they're people that know better? They know better, Rick. You know they know better.
Oh,
And I'm not
absolutely.
trolling.
We do have some.
I've been to two All Outs. I've been to Dynamites. I've been to Revolution. I've been to AEW shows. They're fantastic shows, but there is a cult of unrepentant, eat hot crap out of the bowl that is served.
Did you just say cult, like as in Cult of Wyndham?
The
Cult-
cult
cult-
of Wyndham. See,
cult of
that's what it is.
personality?
That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's the cult of
We-
Wyndham.
We do have some more information about the Jay Lethal signing. John Alba on Twitter just now. He is at the media scrum post Full Gear. It says Jay Lethal said he had about a month left on his Ring of Honor deal. He asked for his early release and he got it. So he is not going to be at Ring of Honor Final Battle. So he
is all elite.
I
all
was
in right
well. The
now.
graphic came out. They put the graphic out for him being all elite. So I
I
figured
was waiting to see that because that's usually the
it came up during the show actually. So
kind of a bummer for Ring of Honor. You won't have him on what
Yeah.
could be the final show of their current era.
Yeah, it's weird, and you don't know what it's going to look like when it comes back in April. Hopefully that it does come back in April for Super Card of Honor.
Well, All Elite already did their damage to Ring of Honor back in 2018, so here we are.
Right?
Ah, there it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is,
So
and if
so
anyone
Tease
doesn't want to
people-
absolve them of that sin, you're not looking at reality.
It took a while. It took a while for Ring of Honor to recover from that.
Took a while. I don't think they recovered from it.
True.
Like, if we're looking, this is where they are now, Jeremy. They didn't recover from it.
Star wise, I'm talking about talent wise.
They still haven't recovered from that. They still haven't.
There's some good talent there, though. They did build up some good talent.
Oh yeah.
After the Elite left,
Danhausen, all those different guys, the
Brody King.
they already have. Yeah, I mean, you look at Gresham and all those different dudes that came up hard, but it is the circumstances. More money, you go elsewhere. That's what happens. Same thing. It happened.
Money
to Ring of Honor for
talks.
years. Yeah.
Money talks.
Let's talk about AEW Full Gear. Your ratings, boys. 1 out of 10. What do you give it? Come on, who's stepping up?
A 9. I give it a 9.
You give it a 9. I think it's a little generous, Jeremy. I think it's a little bit generous.
I think it's a 9.
I'll give you mine in a little bit. What do you think?
There was not a bad match on the card. There were a couple of questionable endings. There were a lot of classics. I mean, Punk and Kingston, MJF and Darby, the main event with Hangman and Omega. I think we had a bunch of classics right in there. I give it a solid 9.
I'm getting 7.5 here. I want to give you a rating, but I haven't seen the whole show, so I'm not going to give you a whole rating because I haven't seen the whole show. So.
Damn, BR
Live. You probably missed the best 3 matches of the night.
I
to
know.
Be completely honest,
and I blame bullshit for that.
Did you see Kingston and Punk? Oh yeah, that was late. So you saw that.
Love that. Did we touch on that? yet?
We did not.
Let's drill through that quickly before.
Yeah, that and the tag match. The only thing we got to say about that tag match is it should have been a fatal 4-way with Cody and Malachi, and that they should have made that a fatal 4-way. It did not work as a tag match.
Agreed. And it was mostly Cody getting.
Can they coexist?
Oh my God! And then you did that angle. Eddie Kingston versus Punk. I didn't mean to absolve this match. We're trying to just stay here and within a certain time frame. Rick, your take on this before we sign off. I love this. Hot energy for this. Punk working pseudo heel on it. Loved it.
Yeah, and I think you could tell that Punk was having fun in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Like as I said earlier on in the show, I think this was the kind of match that he was waiting for. He was waiting for that honeymoon phase to start to fade off so he could kind of just stop being happy-go-lucky. I'm just happy to be here, CM Punk. I love everybody. And he could get back to doing what he does best. And that's being a shit-eating, heel, bad guy. Like this guy, he is one of the best of all time. And I think he was finally starting to have fun with that a little bit and showcase that because the fans wanted to cheer for Eddie over him. And he was almost happy to do it. And the other thing that I loved was the John Cena tease. Like he went because if you look at the promo the exchange that happened between him and Eddie Kingston, it was basically John Cena and CM Punk, but with CM Punk playing the John Cena role. So for Punk to come out there tonight and do 2.5 moves of doom and then like, oh no, here we go. I'm gonna do a 5-knuckle shuffle.
Nobody saw that coming.
The middle finger. That was really, really good. Yeah, I think that hand or that match was booked about as well as could be. It was the shortest match on the card, but it was
10 minutes.
everything that it needed to be.
Exactly. And
I
what
think
did they get out of 10 minutes, Rick? They got more out of 10 minutes doing a minute sliver of the physicality that most of the other matches did before them. They got so much more in terms of reaction, in terms of a fan investment. Yeah. All these other things. I saw much more people invested in the outcome of this match than any other match on the show besides the world title match.
Yeah, this was my favorite match of the night. And it's not. Look, if you want to go off of moves and cool shit and this, that, and the other thing, well, yeah, obviously you're going to look at the Lucha Brothers match or the Elite match or whatever. But from just a pure storytelling standpoint, these two guys stole the show, in my opinion, tonight. They told a tremendous story in that ring, and it's going to keep going because Punk offered out the hand to Eddie Kingston, and Kingston was like, fuck you. I ain't shaking your damn hand. I'm out of here. Because obviously he still got some issues with CM Punk, and Punk kind of had like this smarmy look on his face as he was extending his hand, like, "Hey, what do you want out of me? I told you I was better than you. I told you were going to screw this up and you were going to lose. Just shake my hand and we'll go our separate ways." And Kingston was like, "Nah, bro. Nah."
Jeremy, let me know what you think. You already gave the show a 9 out of 10. What do you think of this match, though?
Oh, that's
sorry. I didn't mean to
what
go to this before we got out of here.
What do you call the spinning back fist? What is it? The Hurricane or something like that? I can't remember what that name is.
I call it a spinning back fist.
A spinning back fist. That spinning back fist was tremendous just before the bell rang. I love that. This was the match I was looking forward to the most on the card, outside of the main event, obviously, which is, but I mean, we've been looking forward to that for a year. So this was the match I was looking forward to the most. They delivered. I am wondering, it's hard to boo Eddie right now, especially after that Players Tribune article came out, that tremendous article that he wrote on there. If you have not seen it or read it yet, go to the Players Tribune and read it. It talks about mental health. It talks about the struggles that Eddie has had throughout his life, all the way up until he got signed. I mean, he was struggling up until he came to AEW. So, and I think and the fans are smart. I think a lot of people knew about that. And that's why they got behind Eddie more than Punk a little bit tonight. And it's going to really cause an interesting dynamic for what I hope is a continuation of this feud, because this was tremendous ever since it got started. And so I just hope they can keep going with it.
Yeah, I got a few people asking in the chat whether or not any of the heat between these two is a shoot or a work. Here's the thing. I don't know. Probably a fine mix of a little bit.
Back then. Back then, there was
That's
back
what
then.
makes it good. If you genuinely don't know, if you genuinely can't tell, they're doing their effing jobs the right way. And that's the same thing how I feel about Charlotte and Becky Lynch right now. Those two trading shots with each other on interviews, and Becky Lynch coming out and flat out saying, "No, I don't trust her. And yeah, we used to be friends," and this, that, and the other. But the way that she delivers it, you're like, okay, I don't know if you're lying to me right now or you're not. But damn it, to steal a line from Knives Out, it compels me so. Like, I'm in. You got me in. I'm intrigued. I wanted to see. See that match, and I wanted to see this match tonight. And so it's working. I don't know if it's a shoot, a work, a mixture of either, but that's what wrestling's supposed to be, man. If I can't tell, you're doing your damn job right.
We're working into a shoot, brother.
All right, so Jeremy gave it, I think, a little bit too much. I won't give it a rate because I haven't seen the whole show.
Nope, I think 9 is solid.
You think
I'm gonna go with an 8.25.
Okay.
It's like we're playing poker here. Yeah, I see your 8.25, and I'm going to raise it a 0.25.
If you're watching or listening on demand, thank you so many of the people that are checking out our show on YouTube. Over 22,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done already. Vince Russo joins us every single Monday night after Monday at Raw. Dutch Mantel every Friday night after Rampage and SmackDown. We have Jose G and Rico El Glorioso every Wednesday night covering NXT and AEW. And then Rick over there and I do the Inside Cradle, which is kind of like a catch-all of everything going on this week, kind of a deeper dive. On top of that, Monday through Friday, Jeremy and I will be on we call the top story. It's the top 3 stories of the day, and we cover those in depth for about 20 to 30 minutes or so. So tons of different content for you to check out, all of it for free. No Patreon, no paywall, none of this stuff. You get it all for free. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and subscribe to Sportskeeda on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Turn those notifications on. I know a lot of people check us out on the Facebook, all that good stuff. And check out our articles.
Thank you, Stephen, by the way, for bringing this up. Yes, Tribute to the Troops is, technically today. Check your local listings on Fox. Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair. Also up right now on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel is a full 11-minute interview that I did with the EST of WWE ahead of Tribute to the Troops. So make sure to check that out as well. By the way, everybody in the chat who's asking me like football questions and this, that, and the other thing, since we're kind of time limited here, do me a favor. Ask me those questions anytime you want. On the Twitter right there at Rick Ucchino. You can follow me there. I do cover the NFL for SiriusXM as another side gig. Follow me there. Hit me up with your football questions there, and I'll answer them in my spare time.
You be live with the XXM tomorrow. Cover the Bengals.
Thank God it's a bye week, so they're guaranteed not to screw this one up.
Well, don't count
next
your chickens.
One, I'll be back live on the air. Channel 88, which is their red zone channel for SiriusXM, will be in 2 more weeks when the Steelers come to town. So that'll be good.
Tony Khan giving Hangman a big hug at the media scrum after All Out. Or Full Gear.
I love my champion.
Big hug.
We invest in our talent. I love my champion. I'm so inclusive to all my fans, not the people I cut off on media scrums, but all my fans, all those different things.
Hangman Adam
way
Page.
too subdued for Tony
Hangman
Khan.
Adam Page says he will not reveal what he said to Kenny Omega in the ring after their match tonight. So, there you go.
Protect the biz. Gotta protect the biz.
He just said cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit. What did you just experience when I hit you in the face? It was cowboy shit. All right. So thank you guys so much for checking out the show. If you haven't done already, go rate, review, and subscribe on any of the apps you're getting us on the podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Get us in the top 100 American wrestling, pro wrestling podcasts in the United States on Apple, on Australia, all the different charts. Thank you so much. And if you're watching on demand or listening on demand, go ahead and jump in the reviews. Give us a review of what you thought AEW was. I'll read it on a future show. So definitely go and do that. Thank you guys so much. Check it out. And if you haven't done it, follow Jeremy Bennett, JB Huskers, Lost in the Mid-Card. Tell him, JB.
Yep. Every Thursday we're on a little hiatus, but we'll be back this Thursday breaking down that Full Gear and seeing what WWE has done this week as well.
Of course, Rick, you are busy. You and I, Inside Cradle, every Thursday. They can check you out on the radio, streaming worldwide. WLEW, the big stick there.
The big one, yes.
The big 106, the big
stick.
They can check me out on the radio as well. I'm on the radio. Check out links are up on my Twitter, all that good stuff. Remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing, which is what, gentlemen?
Enjoy wrestling.
Rick, did you enjoy the wrestling?
I did. I was trying to come up with a smart ass answer, but I just couldn't think. It's too late. I got nothing.
Super kick him. That's what everyone else does.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Have a good one. See ya.